I'm Emma, and like many of you, I'm a busy parent. With the current situation with COVID-19, I've been wondering, is this going to affect food production? I was wondering about the farmers. How is this affecting them and the amount of food that they can make? So Red Tractor has put me in touch with Farmer Tom. He's going to tell me all about his farm, the type of food he makes, and what's going on in his daily life at the moment. Hi Tom, it's lovely to talk to you.
Hi, great to see you too.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and about your farm and the type of things that you do on the farm?
Yeah, so we're a medium-sized family farm. I farm with my mum and dad and my wife. We have some sheep. So we're a mixed farm. We have some sheep and we have some cereals as well. So we grow wheat for bread making. We grow barley to make beer and Maltesers. We grow oats for cereals, for breakfast cereals. And then we grow some oil seeds as well. So we grow linseed to go also into bread making, and we grow rapeseed, which some people call canola, and that goes for cooking oil.
And what's happening at the farm at the moment? Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on with COVID-19. Is that affecting your daily routine and your farming routine?
Over the last few months, we've had a very, very wet time on the farm. So it feels like we've been in lockdown for 6 months because it's been so wet. We haven't been able to do any work on the land. And so all our autumn planting couldn't happen. So we've actually now just been released. The ground's dried out enough for us to start working. So we've been flat out, basically doing our spring sowing, so sowing our spring crops, spring barley, spring oats, linseed, etc. But of course, we're having to be really, really careful. So on our farm, we have 2 tractors, and we have Joe who works with us. So he is just driving the big tractor and he drives nothing else. And I drive the small tractor, which does different jobs. And at the moment, we're doing our spring sowing, as I said, and that means that he will just be in one tractor doing the sowing all the time, and I do all the peripheral work. So we'd normally be able to jump in and out of different tractors and use different machinery, but we have to be really, really careful with that. We're always pretty careful with health and hygiene on the farm anyway, but that's just something we're having to be extra careful of. And then the real thing that's impacting us is deliveries, both coming onto the farm and going off the farm. There are a lot of people bringing, they might be bringing seed or fertilizer, they might be taking grain away, and we just have to be really, really careful with that. Just touching surfaces and transmitting via even things like paperwork you have to sign to say something's arrived or left. So work is definitely going on as usual, but with extra precautions and just with a bit more planning required.
So what's in season at the moment, Tom? What should we be looking out for?
Well, I can tell you what I'm really excited about. And for me, this time of year is asparagus season. I can absolutely love it, and they're coming right into season now, so they'll be at their freshest and best. Of course, our friends over in Jersey will remind us that new potatoes and potato season's just starting to come in with some of those new potatoes coming in. And then really we've gone through the hungry gap when availability of fresh food is grown in the UK is not quite so good. And now we've got spinach and spring onions and watercress. And of course, we're coming up to Easter time, and that's a great time for spring lamb as well. And our meats are available throughout the year in the UK. So yeah, they're always pretty good.
I think a lot of people are making the most of foods that they've got, whether it's from stuff in their store cupboard or the fresh produce that they've got. And I think people are a lot more focused on trying not to waste food.
Yeah, it's that kind of make do and mend mentality that got the population through 70 years ago. So I think that's absolutely right. And for me, I absolutely hate waste in any form. I think, anything that, I've spent a lot of time trying to grow or produce these foods, and I don't want to be wasting them. So yeah, that's definitely something that a real positive that could come out of this pretty difficult situation. So, but I think also seasonality with the way harvests are. Of course, you get a seasonal glut. And so it's great to be able to enjoy the fresh fruits of the season, but also then to make them into, to preserve them, to freeze them, to make them into other things as well. So that's something great to be doing.
So looking forward to the future, Tom, are there any issues that you can see that farmers are going to face?
Yeah, I think the thing in farming that we're worried about, we're always worried about the weather. We talk about the weather a lot, and that's a big variable. But the other variable that I think is on the horizon is a potential shortage of labour. We have about 100,000 farmers, I think, in the UK,
Wow.
And we need about another 70 or 80,000 each year to bring in the harvest. At the moment, a lot of that comes from Eastern Europe, and those people won't be able to make it to the UK. So there'll be quite a big shortfall. We can labour, blood, sweat, toil and tears all year, but actually we've got to get that harvest, we've got to get it in, we've got to get it on the supermarket shelves. So it's a really crucial and pressured time of year.
It's great hearing about daily life on the farm. We're going to be catching up with Tom again soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And it was just really interesting to speak to Tom about what's in season at the moment, because that's a great way of buying really good healthy food that should have a good supply. And it's also remembering not to waste any food, you know, make use of all those recipes. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, remember to stay tuned and we look forward to seeing you again soon.